Well, the focus was on the southern New South Wales highlands this afternoon and, of course, throughout yesterday as dangerous fires ripped through that region, Bargo, Balmoral. But the emergency is now centred around South Australia and Victoria because of the catastrophic weather conditions today. Sky News reporter Gabriella Power joins me now with the latest. Before we get to what you experienced in the Southern Highlands today, tell us a little bit about the emergency level bushfires that are facing people in Victoria and South Australia.
Well, it's been an unbelievable day of extreme weather and out-of-control bushfires across the country. In South Australia, we've had 6 emergency warnings. One of those have just been downgraded. In Victoria, we've had 2 emergency warnings along with other watch and acts. And it's also been a day we've had broken records, not just for December, but we've broken records for any month in parts of South Australia and Victoria. We've seen some outer areas of Adelaide reach 48.1 degrees, and Victoria saw temperatures in its north of 47.4 degrees. We've also had an emergency warning in WA near Esperance, but that's since been downgraded. And in New South Wales, we still have those 2 emergency warnings of those bushfires burning out of control. That's, of course, the Gospel Mountain fire and the fire that I was at today, the Greenwattle Creek fire. And
then, of course, you've got the wind change, the southerly buster that has come through, and then that's sort of taken flames in different directions. So it will be a horrible night for bushfires. OK, tell us what you experienced today. I would have thought, given what people in the Southern Highlands have been through over the past 24 hours, it would have been a sobering experience.
It was just so sad to see the devastation that this fire has caused. I think, of course, the most heartbreaking news today is the loss of those 2 firefighters, Jeff Keaton and Andrew O'Dwyer. They were part of the Horsley Park Brigade, and it's just devastating that they lost their lives fighting this out-of-control fire. It was at 11:30 last night that their truck rolled over after it collided with a tree. 3 firefighters, as we know, were taken to hospital with injuries. And what I saw today, it was very sombre out there. It was very eerie, I think. You just saw home after home that had been destroyed. These people have lost so much. I did speak to some residents today, and they've explained the devastation and just how scary it has been for them.
There was probably 5 minutes where I thought I'd made the wrong decision to try and defend, but there was a slight wind change that, luckily for us and not lucky for others, that pushed the fire beside us further down the road. So we were very lucky, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet.
Scared to death. It's a really horrible situation to be in. It's just constant stress. It's awful.
Just finally, I reported at this time last night about the dingo sanctuary at Bargo, which is a popular place for people to visit, and the fact that they had to let these dingoes out into the fire grounds, basically, because the fire had started to rip through the sanctuary itself. Apparently, it's partly destroyed, so it'll take a long time for it to be rebuilt. But the dingoes themselves, can you give us an update on what's happened to those animals?
How amazing is this woman, Rebecca Bancroft? She's a volunteer from the Dingo Sanctuary, and when she heard the news that the firefighters had to let the 32 dingoes out to escape being killed from this bushfire, she drove an hour from her house to try and save these the dingoes.
To round them up.
To round them up. She managed to save 4. Another volunteer managed to save 7. So we've got 11 that have been saved and 21 that are still out there. OK, 21 that are still out there. Apparently they're approachable, they're timid, but I'd be taking it easy and maybe call a pound or even call the sanctuary to see whether they could pick them up. Gabriella Power, thank you very much for that. Thank you, Chris.
OK.